Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today GRTX just filed an 8K, and there is a huge fundraising event happening that I want to break down. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. The company just closed on a massive investment, and it tells us a lot about their upcoming merger. Alright, so Galera Therapeutics, ticker GRTX, has filed this report, an 8K. This is basically a form they use to announce major events that shareholders need to know about right away. And the big news here is about a significant financial deal they've just completed. The date of this report is the 31st of July 2026, and that is the day this important financial event happened. This filing is for Galera Therapeutics Incorporated. You might know them from their stock symbol, GRTX. They are in the biotechnology sector. Before we dive into the details, it is worth noting that their common stock trades on the OTCQB market under the symbol GRTX. The main event here is described in item 3.02, which covers unregistered sales of equity securities. What this means is they sold shares of their stock, but not in a way that required them to go through the full public registration process with the Securities and Exchange Commission. So back on the 14th of April of 2026, Galera announced they were going to be merging with another company. This involved a few different entities, essentially setting up a plan for Galera to be acquired. Basically, Galera is being merged into a subsidiary of a parent company. This is a common way for companies to be acquired. The whole deal is called the mergers. At the same time they announced the merger, they also announced something called a concurrent PIPE financing. PIPE stands for Private Investment in Public Equity. This is a way for a public company like Galera to raise money from private investors. In this case, they agreed to sell shares of their Series C non. Voting convertible preferred stock. Preferred stock is a bit different from common stock. It often has special rights. The non-voting part means these shares don't give the holder a say in company decisions, and convertible means they can be turned into common stock later. Now, this is the big news from the filing. On the 31st of July, Galera successfully completed this concurrent PIPE financing. They sold shares of the Series C preferred stock and brought in approximately $350 million in gross proceeds. That is a huge amount of money for a company with a market cap of around $16 million, as we see from external data. This cash infusion is significant, especially considering the context of the merger. They explain here that these shares were sold in private placements, meaning they were exempt from the full registration process because they were not offered to the general public. This is typical for PIPE deals, where investors are usually sophisticated institutions or accredited individuals who are presumed to understand the risks involved. Next up, we have item 7.01, which is about Regulation FD disclosure. Regulation Fair Disclosure means that if a company releases material non-public information, they have to make sure it is available to everyone at the same time. This section tells us the expected closing date for the mergers we talked about earlier. It is set for the 3rd of August 2026, just a few days after this filing. This means the deal is very close to being finalized. Here is something really interesting for existing shareholders. Galera declared a pre-closing distribution. This means that before the merger officially closes, shareholders of Galera's common stock will receive something called contingent value rights, or CVRs. Each share of common stock will get 2 CVRs. One CVR is tied to payments related to a product containing a molecule called tilarginine. The other CVR is linked to products containing GC4711, which is also known as rucosapasm, and GC4419, also known as avasopasm. These CVRs essentially give shareholders the right to receive future cash payments. If certain products that Galera is developing get licensed, sold, or otherwise distributed. So if the acquiring company or its affiliates make money from these specific drug rights in the future, the holders of these CVRs will get a share of those proceeds, after some agreed upon expenses are taken out. This is a way for existing shareholders to potentially benefit from the future success of Galera's pipeline, even after they are no longer shareholders. The record date for this distribution is today, the 31st of July 2026. This means if you own shares of GRTX on this date, you are eligible to receive the CVRs. The actual distribution is expected to happen on the 6th of August, a few days after the merger is expected to close. This last part is a legal disclaimer. It says the information provided in item 7.01 is for informational purposes, and not considered officially filed in a way that makes the company liable under certain sections of the Securities Exchange Act. It also means this information won't automatically be included in their future filings unless they explicitly say so. Finally, item 9.01 lists the exhibits included with the filing. Exhibit 104 is the cover page interactive data file. This is basically a machine-readable version of the document's cover page, which is standard practice. Now, and then we have the signatures. This is where the company's authorized officers sign off, confirming the accuracy of the report. Here, J. Mel Sorensen, Maryland, who is the President and Chief Executive Officer, has signed the report on behalf of Galera Therapeutics, Incorporated, confirming the information submitted on this the 31st of July, 2026. So, to wrap it all up, Galera Therapeutics has just closed a massive $350 million financing deal right before its merger is set to finalize on the 3rd of August. This provides a significant cash injection and also sets up existing shareholders to receive valuable contingent value rights, or CVRs, linked to the future success of their drug pipeline. This $350 million financing is especially noteworthy for a company with a market cap of only $16 million. It really highlights the confidence investors have in the company's future, likely tied to the strategic value of its assets within the acquiring entity. The CVRs are a smart move to keep current shareholders invested in the long term success of the drug candidates. It is a big move for a small company and signals a major step forward in their development plans funded by this substantial private investment. Oh, and the research tools I actually use are linked in the description. They help keep this channel going. That is my take. Stay decoded. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Check out the Discord in the description too.